9 days ago, my country changed forever. I was at home in Tokyo when the earthquake hit, and even here, 300 kilometers from the epicenter, it was terrifying. It seemed to go on forever. When the initial shock passed, I felt that as a reporter, I needed to head north to the quake zone to see for myself what had happened. I stopped by my parents' place to let them know I was leaving Tokyo.
My mother was kind of worried. She thinks that since I'm driving towards the nuclear power plant, I might be exposed to nuclear radiation, and she was kind of nervous. And to be honest, I'm a bit worried, and I don't want to, make them worry.
Back at my own home, my plan to go north was even less popular.
Estás molesta porque yo voy como periodista dejando mi trabajo como padre y esposa.
No, porque tú eres el responsable siempre y me dejas 100% el trabajo a mí. Yo tengo que
My
hacer
Peruvian
siempre
wife
todo
Golda
sola.
was furious that I would leave her and our baby girl Luna in the middle of this chaos.
¿Trabajo te parece?
No quiero hablar contigo, simplemente. Haz tu vida como siempre has hecho. Tú no tienes consideraciones.
Despite the scolding, I decided to go.
We don't know exactly what is happening, but apparently up north, some residents were exposed to levels of radiation like 1,000 times higher than normal. And as for my family situation, my wife was still upset and worried. So I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. I mean, as a journalist, maybe I'm doing the right thing, but as a husband, as a father, I don't know.
I'm heading to the town of Oarai on the coast, but it's slow going.
Freeways towards up north are all closed, so I'm taking local roads. The government spokesman is having a news conference right now at 5:22 in the morning. He is explaining about the planned energy-saving power outage, and he admits that the government expects some degree of chaos.
Chaos isn't something we are used to in Japan, but we are having to adapt quickly. Finally, I found a gas station that does have gasoline. Probably it's going to take an hour. I finally managed to fill up the tank, and I'm glad I found gas where I did. Some of the queues at the gas stations are kilometers long.
Can't seem to see the end of this line.
When I finally get to Oarai, it's easy to see just how far the tsunami came inland. The streets are still covered in silt and mud. Down at the port, the power of the tsunami is obvious.
Hundreds of cars and boats were floating all over this area when the tsunami waves hit. This port traveled past the breakwater into the downtown area, 600 meters from here.
At the local noodle restaurant, I find the owner, Yoshio Kimura, cleaning up. He tells me that the tsunami actually came in many stages.
第1波から2波3波っていう時間の間隔はどんぐらいだったんですか？
だいたい、10分10分10分ぐらいかな。でも、僕は30分に匹敵したね。
そうですか。
なんかね、早く行っちゃわないかなと、やっぱりじゃないのね、やっぱり10分ぐらいずつ来てんのね、流れる、来る流れるって、
うわ
それは怖いですよ。
At that same time, towns all along Japan's northeast coast were being pounded by tsunami waves.
本当に怖かったですね。
怖い。ね、子供、家内、やっぱり一番先にね、こう浮かんでくるんですよ。やっぱりそれだけを先に助けようと思うのが。
Thankfully, Kimura-san's wife and children all survived. Nearby, I find 4 siblings trying to make their sister's house livable again. Many of Japan's small towns only have old people left in them, so they are carrying most of the burden. At midday, 2 of the families set off to make lunch for the rest, and along the way, they tell me about their sister's ordeal. She was trapped in her house by the
上まで。
大事なもの外から入って取ろうと思って、そんで急いで取って出ようと思ったら出たのです。
あ、本当ですか。
いや窓から出たったね。窓から出たのもここまでだって。
あ、それは飲料水ですか？
これ
はいどうも。
入れますね。
あ、すみません。
で米ついたらあ、地震来た。あ、揺れる。うわ、揺れる。あー、来た来た来た来た。
It's shaking, it's shaking.
うわ、すごい。うわ、うわ、うわ、うわ。うわ、すごいすごい。揺れた揺れた。
Another aftershock just hit this area.
I'm amazed at how strong and resilient these old people are.
ほら、なった。親だ。
Luckily, this announcement is just lifting the current tsunami warning. While the women make lunch, I catch up with one of the brothers, Takao Izeki. Until yesterday, there was no electricity here.
テレビ見らなかったんですか？
そうそう、全然見らんなかった。指定は聞いてたんだけど、まさかそのだねと思ったら、いやすごいねあれね。石巻だの女川だのあれとかすごい。
Even though I've covered many natural disasters in the past, the pictures out of the north have shocked me too.
ここはそんでも、まあここは恵まれてる方だめ三陸沖なんかすごいべ女川だのあらはほとんど町がなくなっちゃったんだもんね。
There were deaths here in Oarai too, but nothing like the toll further north. Even so, the survivors in this town are still at a loss.
まあこればかりやと。これだっておそらくダメだと思うだね。まあどういうことになるかしんねえ。
I follow them to see what the relief operation looks like. It's small but effective. This handout has been organized by the local city council, and most of the food and water has been donated by nearby businesses. In the public hall next door, I find about 100 people taking shelter.
一番下が1歳なんですけど、
あ、そうです。まだ小さくてね、本当に、はい、赤ちゃんもご自身も今ご自宅はどういう状況になってるんですか？
余震も来てるのでなかなか近づけなくて、
はい、
川のそばなので、
はい、
いつ津波がまた襲ってくるかわからないので。
A medical team has turned up, and nurse Saori Wakita isn't happy about what she's seeing.
まあとてもストレスがかかると思うので、どうなんだろう。かかるっていうか、あとは、こう不衛生な状況が続いてますから、やっぱり感染が拡大しないとか。
It's terrible to see old people now living and sleeping on a floor with 100 others night after night.
せめて高齢者の方にはなんか自分のね、ちょっとスペースで個室とかね、なんか。
いや、うちにでも眠れない時にはちょいちょいあんのよ。
ああ、そうなんですか。
避難警報出てるんですけど、ここにいる方が安全だと思うんで、皆さんはここで待機してください。
食い納めだこれ。
食い納めですか？
相談病の波が来たら持ってかれちゃうものならみんなここに。
Kayoko Nagase's spirit hasn't been broken by the disaster, even though her house was. When the current warning has passed, we go outside to chat.
こんないでいいよ。
すいません。
こんなに近くで。
すいません。
どうして
きれいに映すか。
地震、津波、放射能かよ。トリプルパンチだ。言うことねえもん。これ以上悪いことねえな。切って。
The nuclear reactor crisis is on everybody's mind.
やっぱり新兵は新兵なんべな。だからこれいくらかこう南風道のあれだから、いくらか木工船から伝ってやっぱり日本ここだからな。木の人ら木工船言えば木の人らしてだから、北見の人らしてだから、こればかりは何とも言えねえな。指定のは指定だんべよどっちみち。で雨には濡れんなったとこうでも。これは目に目でこうキットがなんとかつったらいがんべがどういう格好できんだがな。
As the days have passed, we've watched the crisis at the Fukushima nuclear power plant in horror. We've seen the updates on TV, not sure whether to believe the power company's statements or even our own government. With reactor after reactor exploding and radiation levels rising, it's like the country's worst nightmare is coming to life. I still can't believe it's happening, and neither can anyone else.
お父さん、それご主人の
そうはい。
見せてもらっていいですか？
はい、どうぞ。
Kayoko Nagase has taken me to see her ruined house. At last, my mother's flashlight has come in handy. Nagase-san points out the photos of her husband, who helped build one of Japan's nuclear reactors in the early 80s.
病気かなんかだったんですか？そう。文殊の設計を最後にやって亡くなったのよ。
She's painfully aware of the lasting legacy of nuclear accidents.
若い頃一回被爆してるんだわ。
ああ、そうなんですか。
だからね、すねの毛一本抜けても産んじゃうの。一箇所がそこ。だから子供を産むのがすごい心配だったの。最初に看護師さんに聞いたのは手足の指5本ずつついてるかって聞いたって。
With gas supplies uncertain and radiation spreading from the ruptured power plant, I know it's no longer safe for me to continue north. So I turn back to Tokyo. When I get back, my wife Golda is at breaking point.
Y a Japón yo creo que ya I'm done con Japón, porque no puedo hacer nada aquí. En cualquier momento pasa un terremoto. La situación no está bien.
Gold is incredibly worried about the safety of our beautiful little girl Luna, so she wants to move to Ireland where her brother lives.
¿Pero cuánto tiempo tú planeas estar ahí, fuera de Japón?
No sé, yo ya no quiero venir aquí.
Nunca, no vas a volver aquí.
No.
¿Y qué quieres que yo haga?
¿Qué quieres que tú hagas? No sé, tú cómo piensas, ¿no? Como padre, como humanamente, ¿cómo tú piensas?
Okay.
For foreigners, it's easy to leave, and I understand why so many of them are. But my parents and my whole society is here, so leaving is a very complex decision for me. Golda can't go yet anyway because we don't have a passport for Luna.
いや、ですね、子供用なんです
So
よ。
I head down to the registry office to start the process of getting one.
初めてお取りになるっていうことですよね。
まだ1歳半なんですけど。
わかりました。その場合ですね。
For now, we are all stuck here, no matter what happens at the nuclear reactors.
Looks like it's going to take about a week or so for them to process all these documents and get my daughter a passport. So I hope nothing major will happen over the next week in Tokyo.